red tubes. It was colored red.
Okay.
So I guess they put that over.
Okay.
Yeah, remember the red?
Yeah.
This is what they covered it up with.
Oh, it's kind of big.
Please welcome to center court, Pablo Carreno Busta and Dominik Koepfer.
Well, welcome along to the Winston-Salem Open, Wake Forest University. And we have the top seed and former champion out on stadium court, Pablo Carreno Busta, taking on that man in your picture, Dominik Koepfer, who's always entertaining to watch. He's talked a lot about trying to control his emotions on the court. But he hits a big ball. The big question will be today, can he hit through the supreme defense skills and movement of the Spaniard? Took a wild card into Winston-Salem, Pablo Carreno Busta, which might have surprised a few because he certainly showed some form both in Cincinnati and before that in Tokyo, where he picked up the bronze at the Olympic Games, beating Djokovic and Medvedev in the process. Two seeds. Koepfer seeded 16th. Pablo Carreno Busta, the top seed. So this was the scheduled matchup in the draw.
Otherwise, TV change orders and then device. Any questions? No? Do you want ATP or the world? ATP.
The other one went back to the bench.
Okay, good match.
That was Koepfer winning the toss and electing to receive first. A beautiful, hot, sunny day in Winston-Salem. Also a little bit of worry that there might have been a bit of rainfall. That's the most likely day of the week for there to be any precipitation. But at the moment, it looks nice and dry. Conditions are around 33 degrees. And, very humid. Always difficult for players to play in. They're going to have to deal with the conditions. But it's an ideal setup for the US Open just around the corner. And it's a setup that Carreno Busta has enjoyed playing before because, as I say, he won here in 2016. That's his only title in the United States, so he'll be looking to try and pick it up again. Winner of this one meets the winner of the match between Struff and Ivashka. Ivashka turning around that encounter against the 6th seed Marin Cilic. Struff just dropped the 4 games to Maga in the previous round. Well, as you may have seen in that draw section, it was a tough win for Pablo Carreno Busta. Yo-yo matchup against Kwon in the previous round. So he'll feel battle-hardened, having come through that encounter.
3 minutes.
But I think he just would have wanted to spend a little bit more time on the American hard courts before heading to the US Open, hence why he took a wild card into this event. He clearly enjoys playing it, having won it before. It's been another excellent year, though, for him. Biggest title to date coming in Hamburg. And he went on a 8-match winning run, because after winning Hamburg, he then was able to reach the semi-finals at the Olympics before losing to Karen Khachanov, but had that win over Daniil Medvedev to get to the semis, and then had that wonderful performance against Novak Djokovic to claim the bronze medal. Something that he's talked about, saying that it means more than any title could do. I have to say, in Cincinnati, where he met Koepfer in the second round there, he looked good. It was a brutal affair, though, against Hubert Hurkacz, and I think he was a little out of puff by the time he got to play Medvedev the next day and picked up only just the 2 games. So maybe just looking to find his feet as well with regards to playing in this sort of heat, as well as getting used to playing in this time zone, having switched across from Asia. But that victory over Koepfer will be fresh in his mind from a week or so ago. Tactically, not too much will change for the world number 12. As for Dominik Koepfer, well, the responsibility will fall on his shoulders as to what he can do differently to that meeting in Cincinnati, and the fact that they met as well in Tokyo means that they know each other's game styles very well, but he'll know he'll have to do something different to those 2 defeats. But he's a big ball striker, and as you look at that progression up through the rankings, it's an extraordinary backstory for Koepfer. He was a skier, really, until the age of 15. It was a very late decision to play tennis. By the time he decided then to go to college in America, his ITF ranking was so low that he only got 1 offering from a Division I collegiate United States university. It was Tulane University who gave him that offer, and he made the most of that, making a little bit of history at that university, winning more matches there than I think anyone else had won. And then the belief came. He's talked a lot then about progressing, taking tennis more seriously, getting things right off the court with regards to nutrition, trying to also get things right on the court in terms of controlling his emotion. He's talked a lot about also always enjoyed playing as part of a team, and so he often thinks he's playing for his coaching team rather than for himself, which helps him manage his emotions. As you can see there, it was a tough win for him as well in the previous round over Cecchinato. They've met twice already this year, both times in recent weeks. And both times it was Carreno Busta who won in straight sets. They had one other meeting as well in the qualifying event in Shanghai, and Carreno Busta won that one too, dropping just the 4 games. So the test for Dominik Koepfer is to try and solve the puzzle that is Pablo Carreno Busta. So far, he hasn't been able to do that. Lost their 2 most recent meetings in straight sets. So what will he have up his sleeve this time? I think as a matchup, it's always going to be tough, as everyone really in the world will tell you about the fact that Carreno Busta is a former top 10 player, and he's closing in on the top 10 once again. Has brilliant movement, terrific defensive skills.
Pablo Carreno Busta to serve.
Amazing counter-punching ability.
Ready?
So the
Play.
question is, can Koepfer here at Winston-Salem Open be able to fire past the Spaniard? My name's Pete Hodges, incidentally. I'll talk you through this encounter. Place in the quarterfinals at stake. Struck forehand. It's already been a year that Carreno Busta will forever remember, picking up the bronze medal at the Olympic Games, describing that as far bigger than any title he could have won. After such an achievement, you never quite know how players will react. Sometimes it's difficult for players to get their motivation going, but I think he'll be pretty happy with how he performed in Cincinnati. Those wins over Koepfer and Hurkacz. It's a really good first game from Carreno Busta. As I say, was made to work in the previous round against Kwon. As we see these wonderful shots of Wake Forest University. There in the background is Truist Field. Holds 31,500 fans, or collegiate students, whichever way you want to look at it. The Demon Deacons, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, are the team. Of course, Koepfer knows all about collegiate tennis, having gone to Tulane University 2013 to 2016. Actually talked a bit about how he initially didn't particularly enjoy it there, saying struggling with the language, different culture.
Dominik Koepfer to serve.
But by the end of it, he was thriving and prepped and primed for the ATP Tour. As I say, he's a good skier, which
15 love.
I'm sure everyone listening to this has heard the stories of Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic, both spending a lot of time skiing. It seems to be a great way of helping you balance before turning to this sport. But having come to tennis pretty late, he decided really to choose tennis because there was more of a team aspect than skiing. Skiing was even more lonely.
30-15.
Initially, when he switched to the tour, he did struggle motivation-wise because he missed playing as part of a team. But as I've mentioned already, he's talked about getting motivation from playing for his coaches. Ryan Williams and Billy Heiser done a lot of good with this guy, and he said he's got a lot of faith and trust in them. He knows how hard they work behind the scenes for his career, so he wants to do well for them, not only for himself. A tidy game from the German.
1 game on.
Always find it interesting how different players get motivation. Whether it just comes from within, whether they find other ways in terms of working hard for others, and that's seemingly the path that Koepfer has felt.
Love. Love.
Oh, that's extraordinary tennis. And this has been the problem in the past for Carreno Busta against Koepfer.
40 love.
The Spaniard is so good at dealing with pace and power. He's able to redirect the ball as he did there. Koepfer, such a powerful ball striker. Sometimes he is able just to hit through opponents. I think his characteristics don't match up well against Carreno Busta.
Game, Carreno Busta.
What a start this has been from the top seed, showing everyone just why he's a former champion here at Winston-Salem. Playing some delightful tennis. Leads 2-1 first set.
Together, we're on a mission to ignite the true potential in every athlete. Champion is proud to be the official apparel sponsor of the Winston-Salem Open. Champions are known by the company they keep.
As much as I talked about Carreno Busta looking to try and get himself into gear before the US Open, acclimatized to this time of day, but also just to get a little bit more practice on the American hard courts, having not played in Toronto after the exertions in Tokyo. You also feel in the back of his mind he'll be chasing a spot in Turin. He's 13th on the race. So picking up a few more precious points, and when you consider how tight it is, with no Nadal now, it may just be a couple of points here or there that decides who makes it.
Love 15. $15.
No, Koepfer,
30-15.
the previous couple of meetings, that if he just sits back from the back of the court, he may well lose this duel. So he's got to be super aggressive, take on anything that is short. Really is a sensational shot from Koepfer for the lob when running forward, going at that sort of speed to control the racket head and get the weight of shot just right.
40-15.
Wondrous tennis from the German.
40-30.
This time with the lob. Length on the approach from Carreno Busta. It's made it that much tougher for Koepfer.
Advantage, Koepfer.
It's not the fastest of service, but tends to play it with a bit of cut and a bit of slice, Koepfer. Being left-handed, it's a typical lefty sliding-esque serve. Plenty of movement.
Game, Koepfer.
And even though Carreno Busta has been holding serve more comfortably than Koepfer, the scoreboard reads 2 games apiece.
2 games all.
Far off his career high ranking. Koepfer currently at 56. Career high achieved of 50 back in May this year. Mostly helped out by that terrific run to the semi-finals of Acapulco. First point, Carreno Busta still yet to lose a point on serve.
Thirty love. There
is the first point against the Spaniard on serve. Players serving well. This is so important on this court.
Game, Carreno Busta.
Just ticking off the service games. Koepfer yet to win a point. The only point he's dropped has come from a double fault from Carreno Busta. So far so good for the top seed, leads 3-2. US Open, former US Open semi-finalist is PCB. Certainly a player who can play on all surfaces. He's had most of his success on hard courts and on clay, 3 titles on each on the ATP Tour. Twice been a US Open semi-finalist, 2017 and 2020 last year, when I mentioned that famous win over Novak Djokovic in Tokyo this year. It was even more famous, wasn't it, the win over Djokovic last year. due to the shock of Djokovic being disqualified. Carreno Busta had played a terrific first set, which is often forgotten in the story. Consummate pro, though, Carreno Busta, exactly the type of person I think a lot of coaches would put their hands up and want to work with him.
Time.
Robbie Koenig was talking last week, saying that there's only 2, maybe 3 players who could beat Novak Djokovic at the US Open in a week or so's time, and he lists Carreno Busta as one of them. Of course, having had that recent win over him. Koepfer serving here, 2-3. Talked about the importance of getting on the front foot.
15 love.
It's been high-level tennis so far. Serve again, setting the point up.
Love. 30-15.
A little early on that forehand.
30 on.
So that's the difference when he doesn't find the first serve. He might be just getting a little stuck behind that baseline. 2-3 feet behind the baseline. That's giving Carreno Busta time to maneuver his opponent.
Both
players doing so well behind the first serve, but Koepfer at the moment struggling behind the second. Here's a chance once again for the Spaniard to get the first break of this match. That's a brilliant return from the top seed. It is Carreno Busta who breaks first in this opening set. Feel the momentum had been building for the Spaniard. All of his comfortable service holds and the pressure perhaps finally getting to the German.
Ball, man!
15 love.
Well, he's someone who can every now and then explode somewhat on the court. As I say, it's something that he's been talking about trying to work on, not getting too emotional on the court. Just talked about trying to get the balance right in terms of
15 on.
him to not be himself on the tennis court, but you don't want his frustration and hot-headedness at times to affect his play. Smart serving from Carreno Busta, especially to the double-hander. The double-handed lefty at that, giving him a bit of a taste of his own medicine, being the right-hander by sliding it out wide. He's only dropped 3 points on his own serve so far, Carreno Busta, and 2 of them have been double faults.
(40-30).
A wild shot we've seen from Carreno Busta.
Deuce.
I mentioned that the match against Hubert Hurkacz in Cincinnati, it was an incredibly hot, humid day on that occasion as well. It was a match of huge frustration, I think, for the Spaniard, even though he won the first set, having saved set points. But he was up 3-love in the second and cruising, with his opponent really struggling physically. That encounter, at the time he was just ticking off service games very comfortably. Hurkacz was barely winning a point. And he just played one very weak, loose service game where he missed first serves, was broken back, courtesy of a couple of double faults. From that point on against Hurkacz, it got very tough, but shots like that will mean it won't get too tough. As he does back up the break for a 5-2 lead first set.
The Diamondback is the perfect place to come for a delicious laid-back dinner with family and friends. Join us for a glass of wine and extra.
This is the first match of the day. Yeah, the Winston-Salem Open. Following this match, we've got a match which should have a lot of courtcraft and cultured tennis play, with Dan Evans, the 3rd seed, on court against Richard Gasquet. Evans hoping to be the French slayer, having got the better of Lucas Pouille yesterday. And then not before 7 p.m, the man who got the better of Andy Murray is in action. Francis Tiafoe will have the home crowd no doubt behind him against Thiago Monteiro. And then that will be followed by Carlos Alcaraz, 15th seed, and the teen sensation, up against the Wimbledon quarter-finalist Marton Fucsovics, who is the 4th seed here in the Winston-Salem Open. So plenty to look forward to. Ice towel, understandably, in use.
Time.
Change of shirt, 2 for Koepfer. Since he's just simmering in the heat. Right now, the German. Has lost 6 sets in a row to Pablo Carreno Busta. And he's on the brink of losing a 7th. Serving to stay in this one, albeit with new balls, 2-5.
(15-love). 15-all.
It's a big return. Once again, taking advantage of the second serve, which is a bit of a weakness for Koepfer. Ended up sitting in the slot for Carreno Busta on that forehand side. And it was good movement around the ball. Didn't go for anything too much here. Nice controlled aggression. That's just fabulous play from Carreno Busta. Giving Koepfer the runaround. Nothing really the German could do here. Look where the balls are landing. They're so close to the lines. Final forehand hit hard enough to hit through Koepfer even off the back foot. It's 2 set points. Oh, it's glorious. What a way to finish the set.
Carreno Busta.
Pablo Carreno Busta showing everyone just why he's the top seed here at the Winston Salem Open. A pretty flawless set, in truth. He's taken it in just 28 minutes. 6-2.
Since 1963, our company's core values have been defined by the words of our founder, Richard Blood. Do what you say you're going to do. This simple philosophy is at the heart of our guarantee.
He certainly knows how to play against Koepfer. This is the 3rd time that they've met in just a few weeks. And you can see why Carreno Busta has had so much success against the German in the past. He seems to be just gobbling up that second serve in particular of the German. Koepfer winning just 30% of the points behind the second serve. Whereas Carreno Busta, when he's getting that first serve into play, which he is doing so often, 76% of the time, he is being dominant behind the first serve. He has also been clinical, 2 from 2 on the break points. Only statistic I think Carreno Busta will be a little concerned with is those 2 double faults. As for Koepfer, well, I'd like to increase that first serve percentage to help him out, to help guard from that second serve, which is being exposed to the excellent returning capabilities of Carreno Busta. But overall, really impressive set from the world number 12. Pablo Carreno Busta looking to make it through to the quarterfinals here at Winston-Salem for what would be a 5th time. Just seems to absolutely thrive in these circumstances. The only year in the last 5 times he's played this event that he didn't make it through to the last 8 was in 2017, where he lost in the second round. And that was a really tough, tight loss to Julien Benneteau.
Second set, Carreno Busta to serve.
Enjoys playing against Koepfer and he enjoys playing here in Winston-Salem, and all of that was really shown in the first set. Can he keep it going though, the world number 12?
15 love.
Missing his fucking net.
Apologies if you heard the back language of Koepfer.
Love.
He's just struggled to deal with the Carreno Busta serve, Koepfer. Just wonder whether he'll start to try and maybe use the slice and chisel the ball back.
40.
Well, what do you want me to do is what Koepfer is saying to his coaching team, and you can understand why, because I think right now the way Carreno Busta's playing, it is tough to tell, or tough to know what he can do.
Game, Carreno Busta.
First ace of the match for either player. Cutting that one away from the German. Continuing where he left off. Five straight games now for the top seed. As I've mentioned before, we'll be looking at that list of players and trying to get inside the top 8 for the ATP Tour race. If he was to go and win this tournament, he would move up to 11th. And when you consider Rafael Nadal won't be there in Turin, it means 9th spot is good enough. Novak Djokovic, the only man to have qualified so far.
Love 15.
So again, if he misses the first serve, he's just getting stuck behind the baseline. So he has two options here. Koepfer needs to either take a little bit off the first serve, get that first serve percentage up higher, or risk more with the second. But the problem with risking more with the second is that he's already hit 3 double faults. So by taking something off the first serve, Carreno Busta is such a good returner. Might end up on the back foot anyway. It was a good second serve, but Carreno Busta again getting depth off the return.
Oh. 15-30. Let's first service.
It's a fantastic volley under pressure. He's lost the last 5 games.
30 all.
Not easy to get Carreno Busta on the stretch or on the run at the moment because he's moving so well. It's a rarity. Being able to get too many points from unforced errors from Carreno Busta. Very important hold for Koepfer. Stops the rot. First game in 6 for the German. These terrific sprawling grounds. Wake Forest University. The Demon Deacons. Don't do things by halves in this country with regards to collegiate campuses. Getting on the front foot. Didn't take his foot off the pedal. court position here. It's Carreno Busta who's on top of the baseline. He's the one dictating the play. Defense from Koepfer, able to force Carreno Busta in that point due to that backhand.
Third, 15.
Unforced errors creeping into Carreno Busta's game. I suppose it's understandable. You had to expect a drop-off after what was such a fine first set. Adjusted height of his shot here. He started to play with a little bit more cover, a bit more height, and that certainly helped his depth. Just stopped Carreno Busta from dictating as much in this game. And the first break point of the match for the German.
So freaking bad, man. So far back in
Frustration from Koepfer, got himself into the rally. Forehand just letting him down, seemed to decelerate on that last forehand. Defense from Koepfer. It was Carreno Busta who was on top of the point. The German just asking a few more questions of his opponent, particularly the angled slice there. It's a difficult position for Carreno Busta to be in. Incidentally, score update for you. The two matches going on as I speak. Over on court 2, Pair and Rusevori going head-to-head. That's currently 4-all in the first set. I can tell you that Ilya Ivashka has just taken the first set against the 9th seed, though, over on court 3. Winner of that match faces the winner of this one. Ivashka taking the first set. There's 6-2.
Advantage, Carreno Busta.
Just about to make the same point as Dominik Koepfer was making there to his coaching team. Why am I stood so far back for the second serve? It was almost hit so slow by Carreno Busta, it just didn't carry through to him. And therefore, had lost his rhythm off the return. That's not going to please the German. Bit more of a scrappy service game, that one, from the Spaniard. But he's still able to come through it. Saves the break point and edges back in front in set 2. Leads by 2-1.
Network Printing Solutions and pure technology for water, ice, and air, as well as coffee from the triad. Call us today for all your office needs at 336-725-2566. Or check us out online at kellyofficesolutions.com. We'll be your ace when it comes to the competition. Red Fox Outdoor Equipment is a proud new sponsor of this event and your best choice for outdoor clothing, backpacks, and gear.
Swelteringly hot, more so due to the humidity in Winston-Salem than anything else. It's around 33 degrees Celsius though today. Humidity levels are around 52%. Koepfer though can be a hot head at times, even in cool weather. Right now, the heat, but more so this match, is certainly getting to him.
Mr. Koepfer.
Little wry smile from Carreno Busta. He doesn't mind his opponent getting a little hot-headed. And Carreno Busta just saying, can we have more balls? I think this has been a build-up, not just in this match. It's a fact that he's lost in straight sets both times recently to Carreno Busta as well. And Koepfer, his coaching team, would have come up with a game plan, and he's either not been able to execute that game plan or he doesn't feel it's working. Certainly feel in that first set it was all about the man in your picture and the great tennis he was playing, less so about Koepfer's struggles. He would have felt that previous game had the chance to break and didn't take his opportunity, hence the frustrations.
Wait, please. Love 15.
Brutal ball striking from Carreno Busta.
Love 30.
It's about the length that he's finding on these courts. Koepfer just can't get forward. Got him on the back foot there. Gave him time to wind up on that forehand. another great strike. Once again, Carreno Busta, who's winning the court battle. The fact that he's able to get inside the baseline, whereas Koepfer's well back behind it. Frustration for Koepfer. It's only going to get greater here. 3 break points for the top seed. Oh, he's just found the line there. Excellent 1-2 punch, but it was a decent return from Carreno Busta, and probably came through to Koepfer a little quicker than he expected. Just was able to control it onto that line.
Well,
I was mentioning that match for Carreno Busta against Hubert Hurkacz, where his opponent wasn't frustrated, but he was struggling with the conditions. And we got 3-love up, then pegged back Carreno Busta, but he had 9 break points that he wasn't able to convert. But he has been able to convert that break point. Carreno Busta strengthens his grip on this match. Breaks first in the second set for a 3-1 lead. A fine strike.
15 love. Fifteen. 30-15.
Just such a delightful point construction from Carreno Busta.
40-15.
So good at playing the percentages and making the right decisions. Very quick to see. He'd got Koepfer on the stretch here and he was likely to play the slice. So quickly gets forward. And with that movement, it's a relatively easy volley for someone of his skills. That's a terrific 1-2 punch. Backs up the break. Everything going very well for the top seed.
It's the perfect
Carreno Busta up 4-1 second set.
Visit the concession stand and grab a refreshing cold Pepsi. Pepsi is proud to sponsor the Winston Salem Open. Village Tavern, located in Wake Forest University's Renola Village and on Haynes Mall Boulevard, offers an exciting array of salads, appetizers, pizzas, burgers, seafood, and steaks. So something for everyone. Village Tavern, a Winston Salem tradition since 1984.
don't think Dominik Koepfer is going to want to see Pablo Carreno Busta's name near his name in the US Open draw. Picked up just the 3 games so far today. I'm afraid to say it's gradually got worse. Lost 7-6, 6-3 in Tokyo, 6-4, 6-2 last week in Cincinnati. Still time to turn this match around, but you just feel the emotion that he's showing, body language that he's giving off, and the way Carreno Busta is playing. Right now, this looks like it could be an even tougher defeat for the German.
Love 30.
Make him feel a little better. It's a few more of those to get himself trending in the right direction again.
$15-14.
Two more break points. You feel the way that this match has gone, almost virtual match points.
30-14.
Busta knows that had he won that point, then maybe the fight would have been gone from Koepfer. Just hanging on in there now, though. Just a lapse in concentration there, really. World number 56, and it's another break point for Carreno Busta. Just doing enough, Koepfer. To say when he first came to the net, thought he might have been in trouble with the skill set that Carreno Busta has. Just didn't quite get enough height on the lob, the Spaniard. Well reached though by Koepfer.
Advantage Koepfer.
The crowd will try and get behind Koepfer here. They want to see a little more of this encounter. Certainly want to see it more competitive.
Let's consider this. Game Koepfer.
Survives to save 3 break points. Just put a little asterisk by that game, because if Koepfer can get the break back here and turn this set around, then those couple of points that Carreno Busta wasn't able to take advantage of may come back to bite. You do just never know in this sport. A bit more pressure on this service game now for the Spaniard. commitment on the forehand, and Koepfer again not picking which direction Carreno Busta is going to go with off that wing.
On.
Was it a little wild?
15-30.
Almost unlike Carreno Busta. He's usually so good at making the right choices with his shot selection, but you just wonder here whether there's a little bit of residue from not taking advantage of those break points in the previous game. It's a nice steady point. Again, the first serve fouled, and that allowed Carreno Busta to get forward, control the point. Good control on the approach. Plenty of cover on the ball. This has been the rock and a hard place for Koepfer, because when he's chosen to try and block the return, that has often been what has come next.
Deuce.
That was a chance, and Koepfer knows it.
Advantage, Carreno Busta.
Time the approach was a little too conservative from Carreno Busta. Really, the German just hasn't taken his half chances that he's had in this match. Supreme strike. Body weight into the ball. Made sure that one wasn't coming back. This is the difference. They've got length on the first forehand. As much as he wasn't up to the baseline, he was certainly up the court. Able to play that shot with that much more aggression.
Advantage, Carreno Busta.
Again, Koepfer will feel he's missed opportunities in that game as Carreno Busta scraps through it. Looking his vintage brilliant self as he was in the first set, but certainly doing enough. And a game away now from a place in the quarterfinals. Of course, it's last 16 days, so plenty of matches going on. All the players trying to make it through to the last 8. I can tell you, Ivashka in complete control against the 9th seed, Jan-Lennard Struff. Ivashka won the first set 6-2. He's 5-1 up in the second. Benoit Paires shown some good form of late, reaching the quarterfinals in Cincinnati, but at the moment struggling to deal with Emil Rusevori, the young Finn. He's taken the first set 6-4, 1-1 in the second. We'll keep you up to date with that one. A reminder that coming up in what could be just a few moments' time, if Carreno Busta is able to get over the line here, it will be Dan Evans against Richard Gasquet to complete the day's session. Before in the night session, Tiafoe Montero, and that'll be followed by Alcaraz Fucsovics. Would have been some relief in that service game for Carreno Busta. He was able to get through it. First serve percentage has dropped somewhat in the second set. If you remember, in the first it was up at 76%. Second set at 62%. Still feel Koepfer hasn't quite worked out what to do off the first serve return. Time is running out to work that puzzle out.
Lofty. $15. $30-15.
Second ace for Koepfer. So that's the question of Carreno Busta as to whether he can serve this match out. He was able to serve the match out. Ilya Ivashka, he's through to the quarterfinals, beating Jan-Lennard Struff 6-2, 6-1. He will take on the winner of this encounter. Balls here for Carreno Busta, which he will hope helps him. Change a string tension for Koepfer. Will he get a change of fortune, which he desperately needs? Yet to break the Carreno Busta serve. He did get close in the last game. Now or never for the German.
$15.
He's been known to tighten up a little, trying to get over the line in matches, Carreno Busta. I'm sure Koepfer will be aware of that. line there he has. That's an extraordinary shot. What an angle from Pablo Carreno Busta. Talk about going back in behind the opponent. Look at that. Fine margins have certainly gone Carreno Busta's way in this match. Wasn't much on the approach. Carreno Busta is stung.
30 on.
Didn't really get up to the ball that quickly either. It was slightly dropping on Carreno Busta. Still fighting, still swinging. Dominik Koepfer. It's a smart serve. I think the frustration is that Koepfer is annoyed he didn't move in that direction early on, probably knowing it was coming. That will do nicely for Carreno Busta. Through to a 5th Winston-Salem quarter-final. Former champion looking very, very good as he's beaten Dominik Koepfer for the 3rd time in just a few weeks. 6-2, 6-3 in just an hour and 7 minutes. Overall, a pretty complete performance by the Spaniard. Wasn't quite as impressive in the second set as he was in the first. Played the bigger points better than his opponent, and I feel Koepfer will look back with some regret and certainly won't want to see Carreno Busta's name anywhere near his at the US Open. He's probably sick of the sight of taking on the world number 12. He's a big threat here. Carreno Busta always was going to be whenever he's in a draw, particularly for a 250. Dropped just the 5 games. Serve well. Particularly the final game of the match there, was able to find a number of first serves just to get himself over the line. 70%. Winning a lot of points behind that first serve. Koepfer struggled behind his second serve. A lot of that due to the fact that Carreno Busta was being nice and aggressive off that second serve return. He didn't take his one and only break point. Koepfer was the chance to perhaps shift the momentum, because it felt like really throughout the entirety of the match it was Carreno Busta who had all the momentum. So a fine win for the world number 12 as he moves through to the last 8 at Winston-Salem.
Pablo, that was a dominating performance today. You played him the last 2 weeks. Is it difficult to play the same guy 3 weeks and be that successful?
Yeah, we play 3 times in a row in 3 tournaments, so it's something strange. But you know, I was very focused. I tried to be very, very aggressive today. It was a good tactic, I think, because I make a lot of winners. So I'm happy because my tennis is improving this week. So that's the thing that I need.
You clearly frustrated him there in the late first set, early second. When you see that in an opponent, do you kind of go in for the kill there?
Well, you have to. No? It's good news when you are making these winners and the opponents are a little bit strange. But you know, it's very important to me to win in 2 sets. It's important because tomorrow I have to play again. So I think this is the perfect way to be in quarterfinals.
Talk me through the way you go about your week. I mean, you want to win every day, which means you have to play every day. Your rest and nutrition. Walk me through that.
I'm just thinking on the next match, you know. I'm not thinking about if I have to play 4 or 5 matches this week. Next week I have to play on US Open. Everybody knows that next week we have a very important tournament, but I'm day by day. For me, it's also important this tournament here in Winston-Salem, so I just try to do my best.
Well, you've done very well here so far. Congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
First quarter finalist, Pablo Carreno Busta.
Always speaks well.
Stay tuned, more tennis coming up.
A consummate professional is Pablo Carreno Busta, and as he was saying there, he's certainly playing better and trending in the right direction ahead of the US Open. It won't be thinking about that right now. He'll be thinking of perhaps picking up what would be a 7th title and a second one here at the Winston-Salem Open.